You're going to be able to live the life of your dreams. You're going to be able to do the things you want, whether it's retiring early or time freedom or enjoying more time with your family and not have to think about money ever again, the abundance or the $1 million or the new vehicle or the loving romantic relationship that you want. All of that is obtainable, and all you have to do is simply, yo, what up? Johnny here. I'm really glad you're here today, wherever you're at in the world. If you do need help with your manifestation or you need some guidance, do check out the link below in the description. I do offer one-on-one coaching. You thought everything was in alignment and the signs were there, everything was there. And somehow, right when you got to the point of that manifestation coming into your life, somehow it just slowly dissipated and faded away. Instead of coming towards you, it just started moving away from you. I know how that happens, and I know it sucks being in that position. It happened to me a few times in my life. So I know where you're coming from. I know what it's like to not have the desires or the manifestation of whatever it is that you want. In this video, I'm going to show you how to control those two movements in your reality so that you can manifest the things that you want. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a short success story from Neville, because maybe my stories aren't enough for convincing. I've seen a lot of success stories all over the internet already, and it seems like it's just spiraling in a good way of more and more people manifesting the things we want. This method is so powerful that you might only have to do it a few times to see results. But we need to remember that practice is key. I know that this method works because I've manifested $4,000 in 48 hours in a time crunch. I'm going to give you the same exercise that I use through the day, as well as at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some pointers and some tips on what to be aware of. So what is controlling our very existence? There are two kinds of movements. We got one is the outer body, and two is the inner body. The inner movement is what determines the outer movement. Also, the inner body, the inner movement, is what brings all events to pass, which all manifestations come into fruition, into existence. And since this is what is causing our very existence and our reality, we must master the inner body in order for us to get the things that we want. So when the inner body matches the actions of the outer body, it must take action in order to satisfy that desire. And that is when your desires are realized and come into fruition. So what that really means when we talk about the outer and the inner body is that the outer is you, the physical body, the five senses. Your inner body is your subconscious mind, the one that's controlling your reality. That inner being is just as important as your physical being is. And that is the one that must be practiced. We are so attached to the physical world that if we don't see something with our eyes or see anything with our senses, it's automatically denied. And that goes with anything when it comes to science and everything else. Nothing is believed until there's like physical proof. But the thing is, with our body is a vibrating energy. We need to focus on our inner body, our inner work, our inner being. That's what's going to impress back out. So there's a story of Neville about a blind woman. She only had to take one bus to go to work. The problem after a while is that all of a sudden that the routes entirely changed. So instead of getting to work in less than 30 minutes, it was over 2.5 hours to get to work, and she had to take 3 other buses in order for her to get to work. And she's blind, and she knew that wasn't going to be feasible for her. She had to figure out a different way of doing it. She knew that it wasn't possible to take the bus anymore because of her situation. So what she did was she imagined herself in the car. She imagined herself smelling what the vehicle would smell like. She imagined what she would be hearing. She imagined a man sitting there driving her to work. And she pictured everything from the sounds of the city, flowing by with the window down. She brought everything into her vividness of reality and all her senses with this imaginary ride. So she practiced this imaginary ride 2 times. A friend told her of an ad that popped up in the local newspaper. And the local newspaper said that there was a person that wanted to help blind people. Her friend immediately gave her the contact information. She called up this person and they met up. And as they were talking, he decided to agree to take her to work. And someone in the background heard of the conversation. And another man agreed to take her home after work every day. The way that it happened for her is that she did not think of the car. She thought from the car. What we're making mistakes of when it comes to manifestation is that we are thinking of it instead of thinking from it. So if I'm thinking of how I want this $5,000 keyboard, but I just don't have money for it, I'm going to not think of the keyboard or the thing, but I'm going to think from it as if I'm already feeling it, touching it, playing it. So we just want to think from the manifestation and not think of it. Are you getting value out of this? Make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you're already subscribed, I do really appreciate you. And if there's anything about manifestation that you like to talk about or a video about, put those in the comments below. I love to hear about your journey. I'm going to share with you an exercise that has not only helped her, but has also helped me in 48 hours and manifest $4,000 and manifesting quite a few other things just by thinking about it just a few times. So what we want to do here is we want to simply construct an image in our mind and imagine this short image, the drama, Neville would say. We want to construct a mental image of the end of what it is that we want. We create a short little scene. Next, we simply want to just immobilize the body. We want to relax the body. We want to relieve all the stress out of our body and our limbs and remove all that, right? And then we just want to get in a nice relaxed state. And then we want to act as if we're going to take a nap. Now, if you don't take naps, then this is going to be very hard for you. You're going to have to learn how to take naps. I have a friend that doesn't take naps, and I'm like, dude, you need to freaking rest instead of yawning all day. It's driving me crazy. But yeah. So seriously, if you learn to utilize and take short little naps, there's no rule to how long you need to take a nap. Literally, it can be a few minutes and get out of it. So when we take this nap, that's when we begin the imagination and create that image in our mind. And then we drift off into our nap. What we want to do is be consciously aware of whatever it is that we want and thoughts until we drift off into sleep. And the length of your sleep is not important. A short nap is sufficient enough for this to work. Carrying the action into sleep is really what the most important part is. So as long as we're carrying that action, that manifestation, that thing we want, that desire into our sleep during that nap, that is the most important part. If you can master that, then your manifestation has no choice but to come into reality. Here's 3 tips that I can help you with this along with doing this. At first, when you do close your eyes and practice this, you're going to have millions of thoughts of things of wanting to do something else or change and get up and go do something. Your mind's going to be running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? You can have all these thoughts. It's okay at first. Don't stress about your thoughts and what's coming into your mind. The main point is just trying to get into this state to practice and get your state of consciousness to get in this frequency of vibration where you're lowering the waves of your mind so that you can tap into the subconscious. And sometimes your attention might stray, and that is okay. The main point here is to keep practicing, whether it takes you 50 times, 100 times, 200 times. We can't keep counting or keeping track of how long we're doing this. We need to just commit. And if it takes you 50 times, great. If it takes you on your first try and you get that instant manifestation, that is great. But the main point here is to keep practicing and keep focusing your attention. And once you get this down, this is when that magic is going to start happening for you. This is when your reality is going to start shaping into the way that you want it. You're going to be able to live the life of your dreams. You're going to be able to do the things you want, whether it's retiring early or time freedom or enjoying more time with your family and not have to think about money ever again, the abundance or the $1,000,000 or the new vehicle or the loving romantic relationship that you want. All of that is obtainable, and all you have to do is simply take a nap, right? And control our thoughts. So when we control those thoughts and close our eyes and just take a quick nap and wake up and just expect the unexpected. Don't look for the how and don't question anything. Live through the day knowing that it's going to come for you. So practice makes perfect. So the more we keep doing this every single day, the more you're going to be able to do this quickly and effortlessly. Another tip here is to persist. When we persist and have a consistent habit of this thought that's coming through our mind, we persist so much of this repeated pattern by sheer exhaustion of the subconscious mind. We exhaust it so much with that thought that it forces it to submit to your desires. And we want to keep persisting. You want to persist so much that the subconscious has no choice but to give you what you want. So really, we just want to keep persisting and pushing those thoughts that you have no time to think of negativity. You have no time to think of the how or what's going to go wrong. You're going to keep persisting with that thought that you want, that now all you're doing is waiting for reality to catch up to you. I'm living in the end. You better give me what I want, universe, because I'm persisting in the end until it comes here. So a lot of times, because there is time and reality, we are here now. Before we were here and reality is up here, now it has shifted and now you are here and now reality is here. We're just waiting for reality to catch up. So we just keep living here at that vibration or that being or that new concept or that new self that has everything they want. And we wait for that shift to happen. And when that shift aligns and then we're aligned with that together, that's when magic happens. So the true journey here isn't what is outside of ourselves. The real journey and path, no matter what teacher you learn from or what books that you read, the real true path and journey isn't the external one, because they've realized in order for you to materialize, you have to go seek within. There's no way around that. You have to seek within. You seek within and press that. It has no choice but to express whatever it is that comes in your mind. So that's why they say that our mind can be our own hell, is because whatever we think is going to be expressed in our reality. But obviously you have to persist in that thought in order for it to be expressed. So that's where that comes into play. If you want to focus your attention more and be able to control your reality more, I do have a 10-step action plan on how to focus your attention and be more aware of your reality. Do check out that video here. Until then, I hope to see you on that one.